They say your wedding day is supposed to be the happiest day of your life, and it was for the girl who stole my life. While Sarah was walking down the aisle to marry the man I loved, wearing the dress I designed, she thought I was 6 feet under. She thought the accident she planned on that mountain road worked perfectly. But I'm standing right here in the shadows. And in exactly 5 minutes, I'm going to make sure her happily ever after turns into a living nightmare. Before I show you how I ruined her big day, I have a question. Have you ever had a friend who was secretly a snake? If you've ever dealt with a fake person, hit that like button right now and subscribe to Al's. It helps me share these life-changing stories with the world. And trust me, you do not want to miss how this one ends. Sarah and I were inseparable for 5 years. We had inside jokes that made no sense to anyone else. We spent holidays with each other's families. And we promised we'd be the maids of honor at each other's weddings. I treated her like a sister. I was the one with the perfect life, a high-paying job in marketing, and a fiancé named Leo, who was the kindest man I'd ever known. Sarah, on the other hand, was always struggling. Her parents had cut her off after a bitter argument. She couldn't keep a job for more than a few months, and she always seemed to have the worst luck. Because I loved her, I opened my doors. I gave her a job as my assistant, thinking I could mentor her. I let her live in our guest room for free, rent-free. I even gave her my old designer clothes so she could feel confident in job interviews. My mom warned me. She saw a flicker of jealousy in Sarah's eyes that I was blind to. She told me, "Maya, a snake doesn't stop being a snake just because you put it in a silk box." I laughed it off. I should have listened. I didn't realize Sarah wasn't just wearing my clothes. She was trying to inhabit my skin. It started small, so small I barely noticed. At work, a crucial file for a multi-million-dollar campaign I was leading went missing just hours before the presentation. I was forced to present without the data, and my boss was furious. I later found the file in a mislabeled folder, and Sarah was so apologetic, saying she must have misplaced it during a late-night organizing session. I told her it was okay. These things happen. Then my boss received anonymous emails claiming I was taking bribes from competitors. The emails included manipulated photos of me meeting with a rival executive, a meeting that never happened. I was fired within a week. My reputation was in tatters. I was devastated. I came home in tears and Leo held me, but he seemed distant. He started acting strange, questioning where I was and who I was with. He said he was getting texts from friends saying they saw me out with other men. I was being gaslit in my own home, made to feel like I was going crazy. I was losing my job, my reputation, and my mind. And who was there to comfort me every single night? Sarah. She brought me tea, she listened to me cry for hours. She told me I was strong and would get through this. She was the shoulder I cried on, while she was the one holding the knife in my back. One night, Sarah suggested a girls' trip to a cabin in the mountains to help me clear my head. She said, "You need to get away from all this stress, Maya, just you and me like old times." I trusted her. I thought it was exactly what I needed. She was driving, her hands steady on the wheel as we climbed the winding mountain road. The sun was setting, casting long shadows through the trees. I asked her what she was doing, why she was taking this deserted back road. She just looked at me, her face unreadable in the dim light, and said, "You always had everything, Maya. The perfect job, the perfect man, the perfect life. Now it's my turn." The car swerved violently. There was a loud screeching crash as we broke through the guardrail. Then everything went black. Wait, we're halfway through the story. If you're at the edge of your seat, make sure you've subscribed to the channel. I post stories like this every week that you won't find anywhere else. Now, let's get back to the cliff. I didn't die. But Sarah didn't know that. I was found by a passing truck driver named Gus, who saw the wreckage from the road above. He climbed down and pulled me from the car just before it slid further down the ravine. I was taken to a small-town hospital 2 states away. I had no ID, no phone, and for 3 months I had amnesia from the severe head trauma. I was a Jane Doe, living in a fog of confusion. When my memory finally returned, it was like a tidal wave. It was triggered by a news article I saw on a hospital computer about a miraculous survivor of a tragic accident. The article was about Sarah. I saw the truth. Sarah had told everyone I died in the crash. She told Leo my body was lost in the river below the cliff. She played the part of the grieving best friend perfectly. She spent those 6 months comforting his broken heart, becoming his rock, his confidant. They were engaged within 4 months. She had successfully, methodically, stolen my life. Back at the church, the priest was speaking. He said, "If anyone here has any reason why these two should not be joined in holy matrimony, speak now or forever hold your peace." That was my cue. I slammed those heavy oak doors open. Every head turned. I walked slowly, deliberately down the center aisle and took off the wide-brimmed hat that had been hiding my face. The entire room gasped. Sarah dropped her bouquet of white roses. Leo looked like he'd seen a ghost, his face pale and his mouth agape. I told them the truth. "The bride," I said, my voice ringing through the silent church, "is a murderer. You see, my car had a hidden dash cam Sarah didn't know about. A little gadget I'd installed for insurance purposes. It recorded everything, the unbuckled seatbelt on my side, her cold, chilling confession, her remorseless face as she steered us off the road. I had spent the last month tracking down my wrecked car in a scrapyard and retrieving that little memory card. I played the video on the large projector screen meant for the wedding slideshow. The guests screamed as they saw Sarah's true face. Sarah didn't get the wedding. She got a 20-year sentence for attempted murder and fraud. Leo tried to apologize, tried to take me back, flooding me with texts and calls. But I looked at him and realized if he could be so easily manipulated, if he could replace me that fast, he never truly loved me anyway. I lost a friend and a fiancé that day, but I found my life again. And that is a trait I will take any day. Thanks for watching. If you think Sarah got what she deserved, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss a story from ALS. Click the video on your screen right now to see another crazy story of karma. See you in the next one.